Ha ayo ya tshwana le yena. Ha ya tshwana le yena, ya tshwana le yena, ya tshwana le yena. Ha ya tshwana le yena. Ha ya tshwana le yena. Ha ya tshwana le yena, ya tshwana le yena, wa tshwana le yena. Ha ya tshwana le yena. Ha ya tshwana le yena. Ha. No, thank you very much. Thank you very much, colleagues, and allow me to address you as colleagues because all of you, you play a very vital role in the Department of Education. Go na le pina e reng ha go le thata. Ha go na le dipula tsa magadima. Be ke yopela ke re ha Modimo a le teng ha gona mathata. It is unfortunate that Modimo ha mpha voice. Ha na mphile the right voice. Ne nka simolla fela ka go yopela. Ke re Modimo a le teng hayo. Hayo mathata hayo Modimo a le teng hayo mathata hayo hayo Modimo a le teng. Amen. Hey, nka nna mamorutinyana, eh? No, without wasting any time, already it's late, and let me start by apologizing for starting late. There were issues that needed my attention before we start with this gathering. A ke simolle go ka dumedisa the mayor or the member of mayoral committee, Councillor Boitshoko Selekenyane, Councillor of the hosting ward, which is Ward 7 in Mahikeng, Councillor Mochale, and also acknowledge the presence here, the acting SG, Superintendent General of the Department of Education, Masilo, Prince Masilo, officials of the department, including district directors present here today, our wonderful teachers and principals and SGB associations present here today, which represent the parents, South African Principals Association, more especially the president who's in charge of that strategic and progressive association, and other associations that have honored the occasion, all SGB leadership from across the province, various unions represented here today, and all members of media present here today. Bagaetsho dumelang. A ke tse tšhono e go le amogela lotlhe. And program director, ladies and gentlemen, we are all aware that today we have gathered here today officially to launch the school governing board elections in 2024 and to prepare for the 10th cycle of school governing body elections in the Northwest Province, which will kickstart starting from the 1st of March until the end of March. And first and foremost, I can say to apologize to the outgoing SGB members present here today. When I became the MEC in 2022, on the 7th of December, 2022, 2023, I started my meet and greetings with the principals, the circuit managers, educators, and learners. But I did not have a chance, or I did not create the opportunity to have a meet and greet with the school governing body across the province. So we are going for elections on the 29th of May. My advice to my successor is that she or he must start by having meet and greet with the newly elected SGBs that will be elected. I'm raising this on the basis that whether we like it or not, school governing board plays a very vital role in the operations and functionality of our schools. Last year, class of 2024 managed to put us on the map where we managed to occupy position 4. For this academic year, we are very clear as the Northwest Province Department of Education that we must occupy position 3 by hook or crook. And the only way for us to occupy that particular position is when we work together with the SGBs. Because when you talk of SGBs, you talk about all the relevant stakeholders. Tse di dirang matshelo a Department of Education gore a nne easy. The first SGB election in the Northwest, all we know that it took place in 1997 and followed the term of the office for 3 years. The promotion of the devolution of authority from the central state of local structures has been a critical element in the new government transformation agenda and its quest for building a sustaining democracy in the whole country. I'm not going to be long because I'm not in a position to outline my plans for this academic year, because we all know that come the 29th, we go for elections. So I don't want to be selfish. I must allow those who will be in charge to have their own plans, because I was given an opportunity and I made sure that I make use of that particular opportunity. Mine is just to create a space to those who are coming, ba e leng gore ke bone ba e leng gore ba tla tsa department go a ko pele. Ke bone ba tla tla mo ba bitsa all the SGBs ba tla go bua mo commandlela to say that this is what needs to happen starting from now. But allow me, colleagues, to highlight the few that as the Department of Education, somewhere, somehow, we were confronted with so many challenges. And our expectations as the Department of Education is to get 100% support from the school governing bodies. A practical can be given. Look what is happening currently in the Northwest Province when it comes to our schools. There is a school called Situmo Secondary School. There is a school called Lapologang Secondary School. There is a school called Colview Secondary School, where in the past few weeks we have been encountering challenges of gangsterism, where learners will forcefully gain entrance to our schools and stab other learners. So the question is, where is our school governing body? And what is our stance as a school governing body regarding all these particular issues that I've mentioned? These are our children. Ke bana ba rona, re phela le bone, re tsoga le bone. The question is, what is our contributions of making sure that our schools are safe at all times? Our teachers, ha ba ko classroom, ha go sa tshwana le pele. They are afraid of learners because of our learners have tended to be something else. So ra reng rona as school governing bodies in that regard. How best can we assist the department going forward in making sure that our schools become most of the safest schools compared to other provinces? When we were pronouncing the results, Free State and KwaZulu-Natal, they were very clear in terms of their strategies. Their strategy was that as a province, we have a good relations and we do have strong SGBs across the province. Our SGBs are in charge of our schools because these are their children. That is why we managed to perform the way we have performed. They further indicated gore batsadi ba rona ba ruta bana ba rona gore ba itshole yang. That is why in KZN, when it comes to issues of culture, they don't compromise culture. That is why in KZN, la o ka tsamaya strata by strata after school, you'll never see any learner wearing a uniform mo strateng a hagane le musimane, a sunana le musimane, a tshwarane le musimane mo go sa tshwanelang ka teng bo go nna normal. But in our province here, normally each and every after school, you see that particular culture. E direga mo matlhong a rona. The question is, where are the parents? So we have to go back to basics. We need strong SGBs ever. I'm not saying the outgoing SGBs did not execute their responsibilities. They have tried their level best. But what we have to do as the newly elected SGBs that will be elected, starting from the 1st of March until the end of March, we have to look at how best can we remedy the situation. Because without the school governing body, there is no way that as the department will be able to meet our target. A practical example can be given regarding our schools. When we started this academic year, as the department, we were very clear to say that learners over 20 years, they must go to TVET College because of their age. It is the very same this department and the very same parents who came in numbers and criticized the decision of the Department of Education. Now that particular decision is haunting the department because if you do your analysis, most of the learners who are doing these drugs, most of the learners who are misbehaving are those who are over 20. Because you look at the teachers that we are having currently, are young teachers who are not yet reached that 20. So we have to deal with this particular matter to check how best can we assist each other going forward in making sure that as the department, we are able to reach our target and we are able to perform accordingly. Let me acknowledge the SGBs. By into office, they've made sure that they play their role as parents. That is why we are number 4 today. Because of not only the contribution of educators, they were also involved in making sure that we achieve our target as the department. One of our weaknesses when it comes to SGBs is the issue of role clarification. It seems like there's a serious confusion in terms of the role of the principals and the roles of the SGBs. It seems like we are in contestation. The question is, why should we be in a contestation? Because bana bao ke ba rona. And then it is through our efforts, mo e leng gore rona as the department, we can go forward. But I believe that the SGBs that will be elected by the parents this time are going to make sure that they participate 100% in making sure that they elect credible leaders of tomorrow who will be able to take our schools forward. It can be correct that as the Department of Education in the Northwest, we are known by wrong things, where our infrastructure, where our schools in terms of the conditions are not in a good condition. The question is, how did we arrive there? Where is the SGB in making sure that they provide proper direction in making sure that our children and our learners, our learners and educators, barutela mo environment e conducive. Most of our SGBs are dysfunctional. Why? Because of their own internal fights. How sheba gore re lwela eng as SGBs? How krama kwalo? In most instances, go lwelwa di finances tsa dikolo. There was never been a point whereby go na le dintwa between the SGBs and educators. Go lwela the performance of our learners. The question is, why are we part of the SGBs? We are there to advance the interest of our children, of making sure that they get quality education. So let's go back to basic. All is not lost. can make it. If KZN, with that huge number of learners, can be number 2 in the whole country, looking at the number of learners that we are having in the Northwest, I'm confident that this year, definitely we are going to make it. We are going to be part of the top 3. Let's say I come back as the MEC, let's say. The first thing that I'm going to concentrate mainly mo go sone, ke feel the officials of the Department of Education much support and attention. Hanka boa, my responsibility and my focus will be mainly more the SGBs and learners. Because alone as the MEC of Department of Education, nka se kgone go ka reach my dreams or my goals. I need the SGBs on my side. The very same SGBs also need my support. I cannot be a leader or in each and every platform. I capitalize on that particular platform by ridiculing the SGB, but by not introspecting myself in order to empower my SGB and give them necessary support. So that will be my focus. I'll have engagements, I'll have meetings with the SGB regularly. Where there are issues, it is my responsibility of making sure that how best can I resolve those particular issues. Because I believe more a principle airing collectivism. Because if you are working as a collective, ha gona sepe se se ka go tlholang. And then when it comes to the results, hardly good to anything good about the Department of Education in the Northwest Province. It is also my responsibility of making sure that I give credit where it's due. E ka ska nna fela nna o ke phelang ke kry credit as if ke modimo, as if ne ke dira tiro e ke le one. So it is very important for me to work closer to the SGBs and give them all the necessary resources and give them all the necessary support. Gore ba kgone go kgontsha gore dikolo tsa rona di tsamaye sentle without encountering challenges. So, Saka fela is a pledge. For in case of a case, I come back to say that the newly elected SGBs, I'll give you all the necessary support, I'll give you all the necessary attention, because I'll rely more Lona in making sure that we improve the conditions in our schools so that we improve the results. It can't be correct that every time Northwest is known by bad things. It's high time for us to change the status quo, to give the hope to the hopeless that indeed this particular province by the name of the Northwest Province, credible leaders, as a province. That can only happen if we work together and not fight each other and not contest each other for space and respect each other for that particular matter. In that note, Nekere, thank you very much to the outgoing SGBs. Ke lebogile go tlala seatla. Ke motho gompieno le nna go biwa tse dintle ka nna because of your contributions to the Department of Education. I know as the department, find it in your heart to forgive us because we are not saints. We are just human beings. And we are going to learn from our mistakes. We are going to make sure that we rectify our mistakes. To the incoming SGBs, as the Department of Education, we are ready for you. You are part of the department. There is no contestation between us as the department, because what we have to do is to work as a unit for the sake of our children, for the sake of the principals, and for the sake of the teachers, and for the sake of the administrators who are in charge, who are making sure that Mudikolong tsa rona di run smoothly without encountering any challenges. In those few words, akere Modimo ke o, ke lebogile go tlala seatla. I'm confident that the Northwest Province, the Department of Education, will shine again. I believe that the SGB elections will take place without encountering any challenges, because we'll be consulting, we'll be working as a unit in making sure that we produce successful SGB elections. Officially, SGB elections are officially launched. We are ready to launch SGB election. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is a symbol that we are starting with the elections. And we must pray hard. Re bereka le baruti ba rona, re bereka le all the relevant stakeholders in making sure that ha gona kapamadi, ha gona any disruptions, sengwe le sengwe se tlile go tsamaya sentle.
Always feeling like number ones with the new number one skin hygiene pad.
Good luck. And let the best candidates win the elections.